welcome back to the XD Daily Creative Challenge. Today I am joining you not from San Francisco, but in New York, the Big Apple, which is super exciting. So let's see who's joining us today, and feel free to let me know where you're from. Good morning, Nicholas, Patricio, and Sheldon, Ahmed. So nice to see you. Ruth, you're from Ireland, super cool. Raphael's in NYC. Awesome. Everyone, there's so many people from like around the world. That's awesome. Kevin's from the Netherlands. Sweet. Okay, so today is day number 5 in the XD Daily Creative Challenge. But before we get into that, I just want to quickly tell you what the XD Daily Creative Challenge is all about, just in case this is maybe your first time tuning in, and the different ways you can participate. So I'm just going to quickly head on over to my screen. And what you're looking at right now is the official landing page for the XD Daily Creative Challenge. So essentially, the challenge is just where you can learn the basics of UX UI design with Adobe XD in 9 challenges. And we also have a button right here where you can join our official Slack channel. And again, there's people from around the world who are active every single day on the channel. And I'm going to quickly give you a tour of that, but before I do that, just going to scroll down some more. So when you scroll down on the landing page, we also have a section with all the challenges. So again, if this is your first time tuning in, you can definitely start from day 1 if you'd like, and maybe play catch up to today, day 5, and you can watch a replay of the video, and also you can get the template that goes along with each challenge, and it's a really nice XD file. It's perfect if you're a beginner. So I'm just gonna quickly go to the Slack channel. So as you can see, we have an introductions channel, so tell us your name, where you're from. So many people have joined us. We have over 4,000 people joining us for the challenge, which is awesome. In the announcements channel, this is where every morning we post the Daily Creative Challenge and also the downloadable XD file that comes with the challenge. In the design feedback channel, this is where you can post your design to get some very valuable high-level feedback, and we also have mentors who will be giving you very high-level feedback, so you're definitely going to want to take advantage of that. And finally, in the Help General channel, this is where maybe if you have a more technical question, maybe in regards to Adobe XD, which is the app that we're using for this challenge, you're going to want to post it here. Okay, so that's just an overview of our Slack channel. So again, be sure to go to the URL. It's going to be floating above me. So if you're not on the landing page, you can easily also go to this URL and sign up for our Slack channel. So for this challenge, I'm just going to head on back to my screen. In Behance, this is where I encourage you to upload your designs, and we are using the keyword XD Daily Challenge. So at the end of this show, I'm going to show you more in detail how you can use that keyword when you're publishing your project. But again, this is the keyword we're using. Just before you hit publish on your Behance project, hit the discoverability tab, and you can use the keyword XD Daily Challenge. That way I can find your work. I love to feature your work live on the show, and everyone who's participating in the challenge can also give you feedback and take a look at your work. So really quickly, on Friday, it was day number 4 in the challenge, and it was where we designed and prototyped a music player app for a desktop. And gonna shout out Agnes, who created this really awesome music player UI. Love your use of the, object blur feature in XD. Something I didn't explore with you guys yet, but you definitely kind of jumped ahead and, explored that for yourself, which is awesome. And I love this, tilted or really cool, video of your prototype. Awesome. Gonna appreciate your project. Great work. And also just want to shout out Siavash. He also created a really awesome music player UI. Katy Perry, one of my favorites. Love her music, and this looks so good. Love the blur effect you added here. Awesome. Gonna appreciate that. Oops. Okay, so just gonna head into day number 5. So let's see what we will be doing today. So for day number 5, we're going to design and prototype a mobile app for booking an appointment. So this is the template that you should, hopefully you've downloaded, and you can see we have 3 artboards. So the first artboard is going to be the screen where you're probably going to want to, add the different services offered for your book an appointment app. So again, you can put the title for the screen here. This area here, this is where you can put maybe a filtering options, I guess, where you can filter the length of the appointment that you would like to see, and also the date. And below we have a really cool card where you can put the actual services, each service individually, and also a photo of the service in this square here, or this rectangle here. And really quickly, I just want to show you how you can use the repeat grid to add multiple of these cards. So again, this is a group, so you can just select it and press Command R on your keyboard, or you can just go into the property inspector and select repeat grid here, this button. And then you can just click or select this green handlebar and drag it down. And that way you can add multiples of this element here. And of course, you can also hover in between the space here to add some additional padding as needed. And another thing you're going to want to do is also extend the artboard. That way you can add a really cool effect in XD, which is a scrolling effect. So I'm just going to extend this artboard down like so. Let me do it just a little more. And this can act as a button. So you can just move this down here. And when you select the title of the artboard, it also reveals an option where you can add scrolling. So if it says none here, you can just select this drop down and select vertical. And then for the viewport height, you're probably going to want to make it the exact height of the screen that you're designing it for. So in this case, it's an iPhone 6, 7, 8. So it looks like the default size of that is 667. So you're just going to want to update the viewport height to that value. And another thing you're going to want to make sure is that the header is this fixed position when scrolling is enabled. So you're going to want to select that there. And also this section, the filtering section, you want to make sure that is enabled for fixed position when scrolling. And another thing you're going to want to do is make sure in regards to layer order, it's sitting above these options. So I'm just going to select them both and press Command Shift right bracket just to bring them all forward. And when I preview that, I'm just going to press Command Enter to preview that. When you scroll, it gives this really nice scrolling effect. And this area is going on top of the services cards. So really quickly, I'm just going to head on over to my artboard where I have all the content filled out. I already selected my my colors in the assets panel over here, as you can see. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add some color right now. So this header area, because it's being used on multiple artboards, I converted it into a symbol. And the neat thing about that is, as you can see, if I just select it like so and I add my primary color, it updates automatically on the other artboard that has that same symbol. So now I want this background here to be a lighter version of my primary color. So I'm just going to apply it like so. And I want this to be the nice purple color. There we go. And I also want this to be my primary color too. So all my headers are that really nice purple. So another thing I'm going to do is I want to add some images to my services. So as you can see, for my app, I decided to, I guess, create an experience for a salon. So we have manicures, pedicures, a nice luxurious facial, luxe facial, and body waxing. So I'm gonna press Command-Shift-L to open my Creative Cloud libraries, and I selected some really awesome photos from Adobe Stocks. And feel free to use Adobe Stock photos. You can do so for free. It's just that the photo comes with a watermark, and it's totally fine if your photos have a watermark, because we just wanna practice, so don't worry about that. Okay, so I'm gonna select a nice photo of someone getting a manicure. So I'm gonna just drag and drop that image into this object here. And same thing with pedicure, luxe facial. And I'm not a fan of the way this is positioned. So if you want to just, adjust the positioning of the image, the default positioning, you can just double click and it will reveal the entire image. And you can just adjust the positioning of the image as needed. I prefer it like this. And let me grab this body waxing image. And I'm gonna just adjust that a little more. Okay. All right, so now that I have all my service cards designed, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna select them all. I'm gonna press Command-C to copy it. And then I'm gonna select my second artboard and I'm gonna press Command-V, and this is gonna paste it in place. And I'm also going to press Command-Shift-Left bracket to send it to the back because I want my checkout button to show. Okay, so I want to prototype also an experience of if a user, selects a service and they also can check out. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually going to grab this cancel button from my symbols library, and I'm just gonna drag it onto this second artboard. I'm gonna position it so it's right on top of the plus icon, like so. I'm gonna remove this plus icon, and I'm gonna press Command-V, and it's gonna just paste it in place. And you'll see later on how, when we add some transitions, this will just really nicely transition into this button. And it will also reveal this nice checkout button. So let me just make sure I have scrolling enabled on my artboard. Yes, I do. And I set the viewport height. Awesome. Great. Okay. And I also have my checkout screen, all my content for that. Okay, so now I'm just gonna jump into prototype mode. And since this is the first screen that I want to show, I've enabled, or I selected this home icon, and that way anytime I select desktop preview, it defaults to this artboard. So when a user clicks this plus icon, I want it to be selected, and I also want the checkout button to be revealed, and I want the cancel button to show, just in case maybe the user changes their mind, they can easily just cancel. So I'm going to wire it to this second artboard. And I want the trigger to be a simple tap. The action is going to be a transition, and the animation is going to be a really nice dissolve, and I want the duration to be 0.2 seconds, so a really quick transition. So now let's say the user changes their mind and they don't want to have a manicure as a service anymore. I want it to just go back to the add button. So I'm gonna select this cancel button and wire it to our first artboard and have the same transition. So animation to dissolve, duration is 0.2 seconds. So let's say, the user selected manicure as a service and they want to check out. So when they select the checkout button, I want it to go to our checkout screen. So I'm just going to select it and wire it to our third artboard. And again, I want the trigger to be a tap, animation to be dissolved, and duration to be 0.2 seconds. And let's say maybe the user wants to cancel their appointment, or they've changed their mind, they don't want to go to the salon anymore. If they select the cancel button, it's going to go back to our services screen. So again, I'm just going to wire that to this screen and have the same transition settings. And finally, as you can see, we have some arrows in our header area for our app. So I'm going to just wire them so it just goes to the next screen. So this arrow right here, I want it to go to our second artboard. And I want this arrow to go to our first artboard. And just in case you're wondering, for the first artboard, it does have an arrow because if this was a fully fleshed out app, there would be another screen before the services screen, possibly maybe just the user screen or a home screen of some sorts. So just in case you're wondering, but right now we're just showing you the services and checkout screen. Okay. So let me just quickly see all the wires that I just created. So when you're in prototype mode, you can press Command A on your keyboard just to see all the wiring that you've just done. So I'm gonna just preview that. And let's see. So the scrolling looks good, really great. And I think I want a manicure today. And keep in mind, so the filtering area, it matches the option or the services that are here. So I'm just gonna select this, okay, and then it transitions to the X, awesome, the close button. Let's say I change my mind and it disappears, really cool. So super cool. And let's say I wanna check out, I want my manicure, let me check out, and it shows me, you know, the cost of the manicure, tax, and my total. So I can select book an appointment and maybe have an additional screen, maybe a checkout screen or a payment screen. But I think I changed my mind. I don't want a manicure anymore. So I'm gonna press cancel and it goes back to my services screen. Maybe I wanna add another one. But let's say I really don't want to add another service. I'm just gonna hit X and it just brings me back to the home screen. And let me see, okay. So as you can see, when I'm scrolling, this checkout button, it's scrolling with me, but I don't want that to happen. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back to design mode. I'm gonna select the checkout button. And I'm just going to enable fixed position when scrolling. And that way, there we go. So it's fixed and it doesn't move as we scroll. And I guess I need to just do that for these two. Let me make sure they are brought forward. Let's just preview that again. Great. Okay. So really cool. So that's kind of how you can design and prototype your book an appointment app. But before we wrap up today, I want to show you how you can, design a nice icon for your app. So this is a spa, I guess, book an appointment app, and I kind of wanted to represent that by drawing a leaf for my app icon. So I'm gonna quickly show you how you can draw this really nice leaf icon. So first thing I did is I just grabbed the rectangle tool. So I can show you really quickly, just grab the rectangle tool. Gonna hit Shift on my keyboard, just so it's a nice square. And I'm also going to select this circle here, and by doing so, it rounds the corners. So just gonna round it. I think 60 is a good amount. And I'm also going to apply this really nice gradient. So I'm just gonna remove the border, and I'm going to lock the object. That way, as I'm designing on top of it, it's not gonna move around. So I'm just gonna press Command L on my keyboard, and you can tell that it's locked by this lock icon, and and it's kind of grayed when you select it. So I'm going to hit E on my keyboard to grab the ellipses tool. And I'm just gonna draw a circle. I'm gonna hold Shift to constrain its proportions. There we go. I'm gonna remove the border. And I'm going to double click on the circle, and that's gonna reveal the different anchor points for the circle. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to double click this anchor point here. So it kind of looks like a bit of a teardrop. And I'm going to drag it out like so. And let me move this down. And what I'm gonna do is I'm actually going to add an anchor point somewhere here on the right. And then I'm just going to kind of move it in. And this kind of gives that, I guess, leaf shape. And of course, you can adjust it as needed. There we go. Oops. Okay. So now I'm going to rotate it. So it's at around a 44-degree angle. And now I'm going to hit P on my keyboard to grab the pen tool. And I want to add this kind of slit in the leaf shape. So I'm gonna grab the pen tool, and I'm going to just draw that slit. I'm gonna add a bit of a curve to it. There we go. And now with this object selected and the leaf object selected, in the Pathfinder tool, I'm just gonna select Subtract. And that adds that slit to our leaf shape. And finally, well, you can just leave it like that, or you can, if you wanna create this version of the icon, I'm just gonna duplicate the artboard by pressing Command D. Let me unlock this. I'm just gonna color it white. And I'm gonna add a shadow. Let's increase this to 10. And I'm also going to add this green gradient to our leaf. All right, so that was done pretty fast, but I definitely, of course, when you're trying it out, you'll have more time to, refine the shape. But this is how you can draw in Adobe XD. You could draw an app icon, which is super cool. So thank you so much for tuning in for day number 5 in the XD Daily Creative Challenge. I can't wait to see your designs over on Slack and on Behance. Yeah, so I'm just gonna show you how you can add this to your Behance project. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to select the artboard, click the share icon, and I'm gonna click Publish Prototype, and I'm gonna create a public link. And now I'm just going to select this icon here, which is gonna copy and embed code. Now let me head on back to Behance. I'm gonna go to my Behance project for the challenge. And when you hover just below any project, it will tell you, it will reveal an insert media toolbar. So I'm just gonna select the embed media icon, and I'm gonna paste the code, select embed, and then it embeds our prototype, which is really cool. So again, if you're embedding a prototype, sometimes there's a lot of padding. So all you need to do is just select this icon here, and it's gonna remove all that white space so it looks a lot nicer in your Behance project. And again, if you select settings or just before you publish, in the discoverability tab, you can use the keyword XD Daily Challenge to share your work with everyone participating in the challenge. So I'm gonna save that, and now it's in my Behance project. So again, thank you so much for tuning in for day number 5. I can't wait to see your work on the Slack channel, and be sure to stay tuned for tomorrow's challenge, which is going to be really exciting, day number 6. Yeah, so thanks so much for watching. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.